Hello everybody! Thank you for joining me on this video today. Today I'm going to be going through my new book I just published called 3-Note Jams for Ukulele. I'm going to answer the 5 W's and also the how. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go through and give you a sample play along for the very first chapter. So yes, the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who is learning from this book? Well, you. And you're learning to improvise. So here's the what. Well, what is improvisation, or what is this book? We'll start with what is improvisation. So improvisation is coming up with music on the spot without any or little preparation. Getting to know the areas of the neck on the instrument that work well with certain songs or chord progressions, and responding in real time without any rehearsal. So I love the analogy of figure skating and hockey. Right? If you're a figure skater, you're more like a classical musician where you practice a routine and you get it as perfectly as you possibly can without very many interruptions. A hockey player has to deal with a lot of different things happening right all at once. And that's kind of similar to someone that improvises a lot, such as a jazz musician. This book has 8 short chapters and is structured per ukulele string. So the first chapter is going to deal with the A string, or the first string, and you're going to have the open string as part of your notes, and then we'll eventually scoot up to like the B flat, etc. So you'll have a mixture of major and minor improvisations. The soloing can either be played with an audio accompaniment track or with an additional player, and I am currently making the audio tracks for this book, and I have a playlist on YouTube that's unlisted for this. If you'd rather record them yourself, you can do that too. You'd have to do that at home. You could record the chord player page first, and then you'd improvise with the chords on that page. Are you liking this video? Go ahead and hit like, and then subscribe to my channel to catch more videos like this, and also my Daily Ukulele video playlist, where I go through the Daily Ukulele Yellow Songbook. Okay, now we're to the when. When should you improvise? Well, obviously jazz has improvisation. But the funny thing is there's actually not very much jazz or any jazz in this book at all. The closest we get to that is a blues in one of the chapters. Often in the Daily Ukulele Songbook, you'll see something that says instrumental part or play instrumental. And that's a really great time to be able to throw in an improvisation that works with the song. Or perhaps you're writing a song and you need an introduction to the song to hook the audience into listening to the rest of it. Here's a really good example of that right now. I've got sunshine. Where can you find this book? Well, this book is an ebook and can be printed or read on a device such as an iPad. There's a QR code that you can pull up that will have the audio tracks on it, or you can click the button that says click here in the contents on the beginning. Right now I'm working on a website where I'll have a store where you can buy this and other books of mine. Right now you'll have to fill out a Google form, which is really short. It's like 3 questions long. And once I get your email, we'll connect on Facebook or through your email, and we'll exchange PayPal or Venmo. It's just $5 this month because there aren't very many audio play-alongs. This is like a pre-release of the book. Why should you learn to improvise? Well, learning to improvise can be super handy because you get to know the names of the notes on the ukulele and also kind of how they work together before you even attempt to read notes on the instrument. If you can read, that's great. If you're really good at reading, you might not be the best at improvising. And that was my whole reason of wanting to write this book, is I felt like I needed a little bit of work on improvising, and so did my students. So I decided to create this really simple book about how to do that. And I haven't seen anybody else do that on another instrument before. I've seen 8 different notes per page or per measure that you have to learn, and then another 8 notes and another 8 notes, all in the very beginning stages, where 3 notes is very, very approachable to figure out. In the future though, I'm going to make some more books, and we'll spread out. We'll do 5 notes and then maybe all 7 notes of the scale. Also, learning to improvise will get you away from the page so that you can make music more naturally. Kind of like if you were a kid, you would play in a sandbox and you wouldn't read the instructions on how to play in the sandbox. You would just make castles in the sandbox, right? Why should you buy this book? Again, so I said I've never seen another book like this. To begin with, that's as easy. So this is a great place to get started. The format is really simple, uncluttered, and it just works. If you find yourself finishing the book, then you can expand the scale by a note or two just to see if you can find other notes that fit. Or you can go to a different octave. If you're playing in the C major scale, you can find other places on the neck that have those notes. The same notes, C, D, and E, right? You'll gradually get to know all the notes on the ukulele, especially here first, and you can work your way up. Okay, now we're to the how. How does this book work? Well, the first page of each chapter is the solo player, and the solo player is given just 3 notes. They're expected to memorize these notes and say them aloud as they play. You can even sing along with those same pitches. La 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 la. Can you name that song? There is also a suggested song for each chapter that I recommend you play with to get to know these notes. Play the notes up and down simply first. You can play 4 of each note, 2 of each note, or 1 of each note. And then also play familiar melodies like I just played with those notes once you're comfortable with that, such as Mary Had a Little Lamb, 3 Blind Mice, Au clair de la lune, Hot Cross Buns, Rain is Falling, Down. You get the idea. And the second page is for the chord player. The chord player provides a harmonic background for the soloist. You can play these 2 pages together and they work perfectly together. Try trading off with a friend. So you could be the soloist, they're the chord player, and then switch places. The chord player's parts are a little bit more difficult than the soloist, but they can be simplified, and I give instructions on how to do that too. Again, there is an unlisted YouTube playlist I'm creating for the book where you can play along. Those will provide the chords for you so you can solo. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you'd like to purchase a copy again, I put a link in the description below where you can buy a pre-release copy of the book for $5 this month. It's March of 2022. In the next part of the video, I will demonstrate the parts together, the soloist and the chords, and then I'll give you a chance to do the same, even if you haven't bought the book. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. All right, we're to the part of the video where I'm going to go through a sample chapter, and this is chapter 1. It's the Apple Jam, and the solo player is going to be playing the notes A, which is the open, that's the first string, then B, and then C sharp, which is fret 4. I'll give you one more note that you can play if you're feeling pretty comfortable with that in just a second. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the chords to this, and then you're also going to hear me do a sample solo as I go through this with those 3 notes. And see if you can find the note that I didn't tell you when I play mine. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that is the sample, and you heard me solo over top of that as well. So could you hear the note that I added that's not on the page? I actually just discovered this today. When playing a G chord, that's the chord player page, when that's going on, you can actually play a C, a normal C note, which you all probably know because you've played the C chord a million times. But when you play that G measure, you can play a C, and it actually sounds really good together. It's kind of bluesy. So hope you enjoy that. Now this part of the video, I'm going to have you come up with your own solo. Feel free to just go up and down the notes. You can do 4 of each note or more. You can play it twice the speed. You can do 8th notes. You can do triplets. You can create a melody. If you're at that point of your ukulele game, you can remember some melodies like I mentioned, like Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm going to be playing this through twice, and I'm going to vary the accompaniment on the second time just a little bit. Here we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I hope you guys had fun with that. That's just a sample chapter from the book. There are 7 other chapters, and you'll explore the string playing major or minor, improvisatory melodies, other things. So this is a really fun thing. And again, if you get bored with what we just did, just keep adding notes and expanding out the notes that you have on the page and connect the strings together perhaps. Again, if you like this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe to the channel and begin your improvisation today with me. Again, in the description, you can buy this book for $5 this month. And then after that, it's going to go up a little bit because I'm going to spend a lot of time making videos such as these that you can play along with. It'll have 8 different audio accompaniments and a private YouTube playlist. So I hope to catch you for my next video. I'm going to be doing more daily ukulele videos very soon, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day, everybody.